Hey everyone, I'm Jeff with Fred Anderson Toyota, and this is our Master Diagnostic Technician, Ali. How's it going?
Nice to be here.
Excellent. We're going to talk about something that's very interesting because you see a lot of customers on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. And what's one thing that you feel like you could do to help the world?
Yeah, we see a lot of folks that come in where they really don't need to come in. They're wasting their time.
I just came into the service department. I brought my car. What problem do I think I have today?
Okay, one of the things we see often is folks bringing their car in for tire pressure monitoring system. That's TPMS. The way you see it in the dash, it looks like a fishbowl with an exclamation point in the middle of it.
Okay.
And the fishbowl itself is a sign of the tires. It comes on two different ways. First, when you first start the car, it blinks once and it comes on solid. Next, it blinks over and over and over again, sometimes about a minute, sometimes just 30 seconds, and then it goes solid. If the car, all it's doing is blinking once and then going solid, all the car needs is air in one of the tires. If you don't want to waste your time knowing how much air pressure to put, most of the vehicles we have, you put 35 PSI in it, you'll be fine.
So 35 is a good measuring stick.
35 is a good measuring stick for everything we have. It's a little bit over, but it's not that important. You can take your car anywhere, like to Sheets, and even if you have to put money in this air compressor somewhere, all you do is put a buck in it and not come over here and wait an hour for us just to put air in your tires. However, if they're blinking, you need to bring your car in. You have a damaged sensor, you have a bad receiver. We need to diagnose it and repair it. Especially if you're still under 35,000 miles, it's a free repair. If your tire pressure light ever blinks, it needs to come to the shop and be repaired and diagnosed. If it blinks once and it goes solid, it's something you can take care of yourself.
And you know what? This is probably a great time of year to talk about this too, is because a lot of times in the morning time when it's really cold, let's say it was 22 degrees outside, what might you see on your dash when you start up your car that might freak you out?
That is when the 35 PSI helps, because as the weather gets cold, the pressure inside of the tire drops. And if the pressure drops just a couple of pounds, the light will come on. The first thing I recommend for you to do, if the light ever comes on, get out the car, look on all four of your tires. You don't want to be a person on 540 with a flat tire and everybody going by. If your tire is flat, take care of it then. If it's just low, you look at the tire and you don't see anything wrong, all you have to do is put air in the tire, and again, you go with 35 PSI. If the light continues to turn back on after a couple of days, you have a nail in the tire and a slow leak. Again, you need to come to the shop for us to repair the tire, or if it's not repairable, we'll tell you to replace it.
All right, Ali, what's another one?
Check engine light. That's the one with the picture of the engine. It's usually in orange. It could be in red. And the most common reason we see it is when the gas cap is loose. There are other reasons that I also will bring up. Check engine light, just like the tire pressure light, comes on two different ways. First, it comes on, goes off, turns back on solid. You have an issue that is not too important, but it will affect your emission. However, if the check engine light keeps blinking, if that happens, you're probably going to feel the vehicle running with a shudder or a lack of power. Is something important. When the check engine light blinks, that usually indicates you have an issue that can damage your catalytic converter, that can cost into thousands of dollars. If the light comes on one time, you can bring it in the shop in a timely fashion. If the light blinks, you need to bring it in the shop immediately, because if you don't, you could damage the catalytic converter and cause yourself thousands of dollars. Also, if you're below the mileage that your car is still under warranty on it, we have technical service bulletins that tell us particular check engine lights with particular repairs, and all of it would be under free. You would lose money if you don't bring it to us when you're still under warranty.
Right.
And even when the warranty is over, you're not going to get the equivalent to a qualified Toyota technician. If you come over here, I'll show you the gas cap.
So that's interesting too, because that's the first way that people really get freaked out, is if they see that check engine light, but it could be something just so trivial, not necessarily, I mean, it's important, but as little as a gas cap.
Yes, and if you look over here, it says check engine on it. It's telling you that you have to tighten this guy right so you don't get a coat. And I'm sure we are not that much fun to come and visit every time this light comes on. And all we do is tighten it We do have to run a test because there are other reasons that your check engine light will come on. This is called the evap leak, evaporative emission leak. And there are other things that can cause it. There are also things that require service bulletins that we check on our information system to repair the car. Also, this guy doesn't run every time you go to the gas station to put gas in the car. This is one of the reasons we have people come to the shop where they don't need to, especially if the car is in a garage. This is the most common that I've seen. After about 5 or 6 hours, if the car is parked in the garage and you're one of those guys that go smoke in the garage because your wife won't let you, is you go to the garage after 6 hours where the car's been parked there and you hear a buzzing noise under the car. That is the car testing to make sure everything in the evaporative emission system, that's everything that holds gas and the vapors of the gas away from the environment.
And you're saying that people will come in to have their car repaired, maintained, because I heard a noise, but my car's not on. It's not even running.
Yes, we hear that fairly often. It seems like as time has gone by, folks have learned and it's getting less and less. But we still get a few of them every week or so that come in. They say they have a noise in the car. They walk to the car. There's nobody in it and it's making a noise. That is the car running a vacuum on all of your gas portions. And if it finds a leak, it'll turn the check engine light on right then.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I own a hybrid and I'll come out to it and sometimes it sounds like a Star Wars droid. It's like a series of clicks and beeps and whistles and like that kind of thing.
That's because the engineers love us.
They just want you to hear what cool things they can do.
Yes.
What's another reason that people come into service, but they might not need to?
We do see some folks bringing the car in where the ABS system, the track system on the car, activates. You have 2 ways for the ABS system to work. One of it is called vehicle stability control. That doesn't require you to have your foot on the brake pedal. It looks at the angle that you have your steering wheel. It looks at where you have your foot on the brake or not, foot on the accelerator or not. The car tries to figure out where you're going and where the car is trying to go. And if the two don't jive together, the car is going to activate the brake system to correct for that. So you don't slip for vehicle stability control. While this is happening, there's going to be a light that comes on the dash. It's a picture of a car on 2 wiggly signs that look like bacon. We call it car on bacon.
Yeah.
And
the 6 degrees of car on bacon. No. Oh, wait,
it comes on.
Uh-huh.
And it stays as long as your car is slipping. We also seen this happen in the cars with the longer body on them. We see some Siennas. If the tires are worn and liable to slip, you're gonna feel this. When this happens, you're gonna hear a noise, not like that.
No, not that one.
A noise sound like a muffled machine gun, go like, and you're gonna see the picture on the car, on the squiggly lines, and you're gonna feel brake pedal vibrating. This is all normal. This is intended to correct your car's direction of travel. That does not require you to come into the shop.
By the way, Ali, this is a 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. It's the long SUV-like vehicle that has a lot of space in it. That's our demo vehicle. Oxygen white color, pretty sharp, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Sometimes you go and get your oil change somewhere else, and sometimes we're guilty of doing the same ourselves. When you come to the shop and somebody forgets to reset your oil maintenance light, doesn't matter where it was caused, but a lot of folks will bring their car back to have the oil light reset and turn that maintenance required light off.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you go into, let's say, Jiffy Lube,
yes,
or Fred Anderson Toyota or a Honda dealership or something. It doesn't matter where. It could be Costco, BJ's, Sam's, all that stuff. But there's one thing that they need to remember to do when they're done.
Yes, and we keep pushing it. It shouldn't happen over here. And if it does, it happens rarely. But I would like you to know how to reset your own oil maintenance light. On most of our vehicles, you have instrument cluster with a gear sign on it. If you go to that gear sign, there's first a loop back. You push the loop back button. It's a little arrow that loops back. Once you go there, you keep following the menu till you see a gear sign. That's for settings.
All right, and let's show people where they could find it. It's going to be on your digital display or your multi-information display under settings.
Yes, and this is on most vehicles that have a smarter combination meter like this vehicle. I will cover the other one in a minute also. You go to the gear icon.
Yep.
And you normally have to push the loop back button on the steering wheel, and you keep scrolling up and down till you see sitting.
Okay.
Once you see sitting, you keep rolling down till you see the vehicle sitting.
Hold that down. Okay.
And then you scroll down till you see scheduled maintenance and oil maintenance.
Yep.
Normally, people don't come in the shop right at 5,000 miles to change their oil. And we don't know when they change their oil at Jiffy Lube or wherever else.
Yeah.
So whenever the light is on for scheduled maintenance and oil maintenance, we turn them both off. And we can keep up with the sticker of if they had an oil change or just a tire rotation on the last service, because we rotate tires every 5,000 miles and we change oil every 10,000 miles.
Right.
So we don't do it on this car because this car doesn't need either oil change or tire rotation. But on oil maintenance, you push the button. It says, do you want to reset? You will say yes.
Okay.
And it says reset complete. If you had the message in your dash that was saying maintenance required,
Yeah.
that is not a check engine light, that's maintenance required, that light will immediately go off. Now, on older vehicles that we didn't have all this fancy stuff in the combination meter, on most of them, you push the trip odometer till the car goes to trip A. You turn the key off.
Mm-hmm.
You put your hand on the trip odometer again. You push the button twice, or you turn the ignition on, and there will be bunches of dotted lines in the dash. And those dotted lines will go from left to right until the light is reset and the maintenance required light will go off. We may have one or other two that are different. They're due on some of the really older cars, but on a majority of the vehicle, one of the two systems we just covered, one is through following the menu, and one is through trip A, turn the key off, push trip A, turn the key on, keep your hand on till all the dotted lines go through and you see the mileage on the vehicle again, and your job's done and the lights reset. You don't have to bring the car here to have it reset for you.
That is interesting. Boy, with the introduction of new technology, things have gotten a little bit simpler. Like, this is so much easier, but a lot of people have those vehicles that don't have the fancy smancy bells and whistles and gadgets and gadgets on it. So this is a great tip both ways.
And as long as we're sitting here and looking at the combination meter,
Yeah.
there is plenty of stuff that you can turn off and on in the combination meter. Another reason we keep seeing some customers bringing their car in, they say like the rear door, rear hatch is not working, or the cruise control is not working, or some of the pre-collision stuff is not working.
Right.
Like the blind spot monitor could be turned off. There is a lot of stuff you can turn off and on in the dash. When you go under vehicle setting and meter setting, if you push the OK button, you can see a whole bunches of systems in there that you can turn on and off. You can turn different messages off and on. You can turn the doors off and on. And if by accident you have done one of these by, let's say you stop the back door, the hatch from working, it's accidentally turned off. You bring it to the shop and all we're gonna do is go into your dash, turn it back on. And if you know, you should really go in there and go in the menus and see what all you can change. You may surprise yourself and find something that you like to turn on or off. A lot of people don't like sensitive the lane keepers. You can change the sensitivity on it so it doesn't bug you all the time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And as a matter of fact, the power back door is right here. A lot of times nowadays they have not just a power back door, but hands-free. That means a kick sensor. So let's say I push this one. See, it's off. So it would just go beep, beep when you tried to do the power liftgate. Turn it back on. If I want the kick sensor to work, I do that. So I would imagine people would come in and say, hey, the kick sensor, the hands-free does not work. And you would just do that.
I like to make a point that not all of these are in every vehicle.
Yeah, true.
Unless you go in the menus and see what's available to your car, you realize what all you can do. You got plenty of stuff to do to most of the cars with the menu-driven combination meter.
Another thing that people could see that would be a warning sign would be,
Yes, is you may see a warning sign that says clean sensors, and you don't know which sensors. There are two sensors that are really sensitive to being dirty with mud, with dirt. Actually, this one has a camera in the front too. Some of these vehicles have a radar that sits right behind the grill.
yep,
And if you have an obstruction in front of it that radar cannot see as well, don't run into the tripod.
yeah, I almost got
And
that.
more
saved me.
commonly, this is the camera for the lane warning system.
Yeah,
If you have dirt on the windshield in front of that camera, you may not see any sort of a warning in the dash. However, you're going to find out that your lane warning is not working. You can just get up, look on the windshield, see if some bird did his business right in the wrong place.
oh yeah, that could be. And you could also see it in the back too as well, right?
Yes.
With the back camera. We all know where the backup camera is, but let's go on a little field trip
And none
here.
of those set a code, by the way.
Okay. So this would be another one too. So yeah, I've gotten that before in my car that says radar cruise control not available right now, clean sensor or dirty or something like that. And I think, oh, I did just go on a dirty road, or it's dusty road that I went on, or it's rainy or snowy or something like that. That could impede a clear vision, and the car's just trying to work for you, but it needs clean tools to do it.
Yes, it does.
Well, Ali, you've done it again. Thank you so much for helping everybody, and maybe this will keep people from having to come into the shop. And yes, it saves money, but it also saves your time too, because sometimes, like you said, tire pressure, you would just fill it up with air, so maybe they could do that too. Now, there are reasons to come into the shop, obviously, and that's what you're here
Absolutely,
for.
yes.
Yeah, but these are just simple ways or warning signs that you could see that might save you some time and some money too. So
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
We like you to know your vehicle as good as you possibly can and help us help you with it.
All right, great. Thank you guys so much. We're at Fred Anderson Toyota on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and we hope you follow you there. And we'll see you later. Thanks.
Bye.